Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whichever part of the world you're logging in from, hope all is well at your end. Thank you for taking the time to join me on this webinar. I'm Mehul Kapadia, Chief Revenue Officer at Locus. We are a customer experience and dispatch management platform helping shippers and carriers across the world in driving growth while leveraging their last mile delivery operations. I look forward to sharing with you some insights and thoughts from the recent Gartner Supply Chain Symposium that happened in Orlando. Attending the symposium has become a bit of an annual tradition for me. It brings together industry professionals and experts, and it becomes a very fertile ground to exchange ideas. For Locus, this was the second year of our presence at the symposium. Here's a quick look at the booth before showtime. As most of us here know, there is a lot that goes behind creating a setup and presence at such events. But in the end, it's always worth it. We always look forward to the symposium as we get some face time with industry experts and leaders, and the exchange of ideas inspires us to create solutions for last mile excellence. And this time around, it was no different. Today, we'll spend some time to reflect on the challenges and opportunities that face us in 2023 and beyond on the supply chain, and also on some of the key themes emerging from the Gartner Symposium. So if you look at it fundamentally, a lot of the macroeconomic uncertainties from 2022 are still continuing into 2023. There is some degree of recovery though, and in some parts of the world, you can see more stability coming through. For CEOs though, inflation continues to be a very significant concern. And naturally that leads to a lot of initiatives which are about saving cost, but you still have to find ways to grow. And to add to it, talent scarcity is now reaching a crisis level. This is a combination of right skills and at the right level in the right geography, and how do you bring all of it together? And overall, the supply chains are still feeling the strains post-COVID. They are becoming more brittle and hence vulnerable to any further unforeseen events which have been happening across the world. A very interesting perspective that was a significant talking point at the symposium was about labor productivity. As you will see in the chart, it is at its lowest in decades. And this is very interesting and significant, right? See, tech has progressed significantly, but has it really led to jumping on human productivity as well? And actually the data seems to suggest no, right? While more technology adoption is happening, it leads to more change management, which I believe is the most difficult part. In fact, if somebody asks me what is Locus's biggest competition, I say change management. Because if we can get that addressed, the technology will definitely speak for itself on performance. Anyways, this leads us straight to theme number one. So 7 themes that we will discuss today. Let's start with theme number 1. Digital tech initiatives will continue to be the number one strategic priority, right? And that goes across the world, and boards across companies are saying that not only in 2023, but even in 2024. And supply chains leaders seem to agree and are hence prioritizing their investments because they're seeing the benefits of productivity and the bottom line. So in the keynote session at the symposium, in fact, we also saw some really amazing possibilities for technology adoption. Take this example of DPD. Which is seen in this picture. This international courier service German division is collaborating with a company called German Bionic, and they've come up with an innovative piece of technology known as CrayX. It's an exoskeleton. The CrayX is a device that employees can wear to assist them in the active lifting of heavy items, thereby reducing the risk of workplace injuries. In essence, they've developed something like a super suit. I want one as well. At Locus, we similarly leverage software to empower drivers on the ground with tech that allows them to make more deliveries in a shift. Our driver companion app increases route agility, facilitates ease of payment, and ensures secure driver-customer conversations. The app has empowered 300,000 drivers globally, saving 57 million miles in transit and 900,000 hours of planning time saved. The next big theme we noticed is enabling real-time decision making. Now, why is this important? See, clearly customer demands and consumer demands around quicker delivery timeframes are getting more steeper. There is also pressure on supply chain leaders to contribute to revenue growth in a meaningful way. So it comes as no surprise that 96% of businesses focus on closing times from decision to execution. And real-time decision making around these really helps do that. Automation across major fulfillment centers here is key. Take the example of Avian Brands, one of our clients in Indonesia. They're a leading manufacturer and distributor of paints and building materials. Their distribution network spans 98 cities with 110 distribution centers. We worked with them to optimize their route planning and enable dynamic shipment allocation. We ended up reducing lead times from 1.5 days to less than 1 day, and also helped save 30 minutes of daily time around planning. Significant operational leverage. Theme 3 is around, as the saying goes, you cannot improve what you can't quantify, right? So a data-driven approach is built on this fundamental principle, and it continues to be a major theme in this year's symposium as well. Essentially, leveraging data analytics requires three things, right? One is your investments. Are you carrying out your investments in the right state-of-the-art analytics tools? Are you then using these tools to unify and analyze this data? And then, how is this data getting combined with your conventional wisdom and helping you forecast better? See, love for data is super important now, whether you're in marketing or supply chain or finance. And getting the right insights at the right time is hence critical for ensuring that you're taking the business in the right direction. We've also been working with a lot of enterprises on this. One of the examples is a company called Agroboga in Asia, which serves over 100 cities. The operations teams there were struggling with planning, which was a lot of manual stuff. Picking orders from the warehouse got delayed, which led to delays in fulfillment. We were able to resolve this at Locus by leveraging data analytics and helping them uncover hidden inefficiencies. As a result, they saw a 95% increase in SLAs and an 18% reduction in vehicle expenses. Shifting gears a bit, we see the 3PL industry continues to see healthy growth in the coming years. Given that a large number of these businesses do not have a captive fleet of their own, it becomes really important about how do they scale their growth. Some of the recommendations from the symposium were recognizing and addressing their shortcomings by leveraging the capabilities of other 3PLs to fill this gap, collaborating with your own 3PL provider as a shipper to improve your logistics operation, precision, speed, and safety of data. And third, higher visibility. I think visibility and data analytics is a continuing theme across the board. You see, if done right, collaborating between shippers and 3PLs and between 3PLs and 3PLs will help create a scalable, hassle-free fleet, which can almost be used as a captive fleet in some sense, quote unquote, by shippers. And it's possible to do that. We have an offering called ShiftFlex. It leverages inbuilt intelligence, industry-leading flexibility, and a lot of real-time visibility for third-party deliveries. ShiftFlex allows businesses to fulfill orders from multiple sales channels to make sure you ship at the right price, at the right time, to the right customer, of course, right? Coming over to the retail industry, we have to address elephant in the room, returns. It is such a massive problem that in US alone in 2022, total returns accounted for $816 billion. Well, that's the equivalent of the combined revenue of leading businesses in the US of Amazon, Walmart, and Costco. Combine them, and that's still less than $816 billion. And returns in US actually rose to 16.5% of total sales in 2022. So see, it's not just the cost of returns to get it back for the shipper, but it's also now a very significant percentage of your inventory which is being non-productive. And it's also poor customer experience. So what is driving these returns and how do you ensure that these returns are managed in the best possible way is the thing to look at. So if you see, if we can focus on the part where, as the returns are happening, supply chain, reverse logistics is a part of it and not just an afterthought. In the last mile, a parallel can be drawn using proper routing and planning solutions where, drivers' time and resources can judiciously be used. So you can intelligently club drop-offs and returns on a single tour to better use vehicles on ground and your manpower, and it reduces cost of delivery, gives a faster, better, frictionless experience to your end user. right? And within that, you can have various validations like proof of delivery. How do you then initiate the returns, customer tracking links, information and comms back to customers, all of it put together. Another theme emerging, and it's been there now for some time, and in today's time we can't ignore it given the social and business responsibilities, is around making our operations sustainable, right? When it comes to supply chains, one of the sessions noted that reducing emissions is the first point of focus, but many find it still quite a challenge. According to a 2022 Gartner Future of Supply Chain survey, over 50% of people who responded believe suppliers still need help for reporting emissions. So it's not just about reducing, you need to be able to report it, right? First you understand and then report it. And the first step is to have the right solutions in place. Sustainability has always been one of our core values at Locus. And we've worked with leading enterprises across the world to give them visibility on emissions and shipments fulfilled. By doing so, they were able to minimize emissions from distance travel, fleet utilized, planning time, all of those put together. In effect, we've helped save about 57 million miles in transit. And if you think of it, that savings equivalent to the volume sequestered by 25,000 acres of forest cover every year. A very, very significant number. Theme 6, if you look at it, is about customer retention and satisfaction. How do you do that, right? Clearly, maximizing convenience and flexibility is still one of the most effective ways to go about it. But ideas around these vary considerably with each consumer. At the symposium, the way forward was to enable customers to choose what's most flexible and convenient through supply chain service menus. This meant providing consumers diverse ordering interfaces, delivery options, delivery speeds, a whole range of solutions. In retail fulfillment, nothing enables customers more than omni-channel retail. If you really want to understand the scale and efficiency that omni-channel retail can bring, you just need to look at some of the best businesses in any given industry. So let's look at one of these case studies, right? Take L'Oreal, for instance. They've seen massive success in the US by enabling omni-channel retail through its subsidiary called SalonCentric. Its massive supply chain network and omni-channel services such as buy online, pick up in store, ship from store, return in store has given so much access and convenience to its consumers that more than 15,000 SKUs are able to reach 1.1 million customers, and they've clocked in 1.4 billion of annual revenue through that. This is the power of enabling omni-channel retail. Unlocking these capabilities is possible if you have the right backing of the right technology solutions, both at the operations and the customer facing end, right? For example, at Locus, we've hence created this customer experience and dispatch management platform that's very integrated, API driven, that helps you deliver the speed and agility that omni-channel retail requires. This can be achieved by optimizing your order allocation, centralized order management, bringing multi-day routing to crucial shipments, ensuring that the current network of distribution centers are rightly located, and then planning and optimizing throughout the value chain. Lots of features, modules that we have, things like Shift Flex, things like Delivery Link Checkout, all of them are geared to fundamentally help you make every delivery better than the last, while ensuring that customer experience is at the heart of all of it. So I hope that these themes and these insights that we shared from the Gartner Symposium have been helpful to you. Share your thoughts with me. Let's engage in this conversation and let's see how we can bring all of this to life in our day-to-day. Have a great day and a great week ahead. Take care. Bye-bye.